We are the Dairyland Divers. Follow along with us on our adventures. Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We're going to do something a little different, and Rob's going to explain what we're doing today.
Today is Fix Cart Friday. What does that mean? That means the items that we bring home, I would say probably 10% of them, they're either junk, they can't be resold, they can't be donated, and a fraction of that 10% makes it onto what we call our Fix Cart. They're items that we think we can salvage and possibly do something with. So let's show you what that looks like. This is our Fix Cart. All of these items we feel are salvageable. So we've got, for instance, and we'll get into a lot of this, we've got this sign. It's pretty cool. What's wrong with it? The hot glue didn't stick to the back of the tin. We're gonna fix that. This is a perfectly fine item, either to keep in our family or to give to somebody else. We've got all kinds, wall decor, Halloween stuff, candle things. We've got, looks like some curlers. We've got a curling iron, the cord's cut. We're gonna show you how we solder that later and use shrink tubes. Very easy, anybody could do it. You've got this Christmas decor, all of this kind of stuff we can do something with. Now, am I saying we can fix all of this? No, there's some of this that's probably gonna wind up in the trash, but we're gonna make an attempt to try and salvage some of this.
Start with this pick your own pumpkins, Family Farm pumpkin patch. It's super cute. Look at that. It has a little issue with it, but this thing was $20 and they just threw it away just because it needs a little hot glue. So we're gonna fix it up and then it can go to a better home. So we'll just put a bunch of glue on here and see how this goes. Hopefully that will stay there. And it's pretty cold out here tonight, so I'm thinking things are going to dry pretty quick. So hopefully I got it on there in time. But it seems to be holding pretty good. So super easy fix. Just hold it on there for a couple seconds and look, good as new, awesome. Set that one aside, and next thing, we found this picture frame. Nothing really wrong with it. But the back here, this fell off of there. So we're just gonna hot glue it on there. Put a little glue there, a little glue there, and put this guy into place. Try and see what I'm doing here. Hold it steady. And I think it will be good as new. Again, they just tossed this out just because that little piece was off of there. So let's see. Yeah, I think now it would stand up just fine. So totally fine, easy fix. We'll set that one aside. This little guy, he's a little pumpkin. Again, this one, oh, it doesn't have, oh, it does have a price on it. $29.99. Wow, I can't even believe that. But his stem came out. So we're just gonna glue that stem back in. And he's good as new. Hot glue is amazing. Stick that guy in there. Completely good as new. So we'll put that to the side here. And this one's kind of creepy. It was a little face mask for Halloween. $10 they have on this. But the glue just came off the side. We'll just glue them back on there. It'll be good as new. Gotta make sure I'm gluing it on the right way though. So I think it goes like this and right in there. So put a little dab of glue on. Oh gosh, that's not gonna be good. And is perfectly fine. Glued up fine. All right, so we're gonna continue here. We got this little happy Halloween sign. It has a snake on it. And the only thing that was wrong, that we could see that was wrong, is this was broken. So what we're gonna do, we had this laying around already, so I'm just gonna take it completely off and just make a new one. Because the other one had broken. So we will just quickly, easier said than done, cut that off. So I cut the first one too short. We'll try it again. So I just want to double knot it so that it stays pretty good. I think that's where I went wrong. Used too much in the double knotting. Yeah, this is better. So we'll put it through there. Put it through there. And within a couple minutes, there we go. Good as new. Moving on. Another thing, we had some jewelry that we found, and this little Christmas guy. We'll have to see if the hot glue works on him, but he's just missing this little gem here. So I'm just going to try to hot glue him in there. I'll quickly do that. Just gonna put a little at the top if I can get under his beard without gluing it. Let's see. His little beard keeps wanting to go down. And then we'll put them down here. And let's see here. There's like a little slot here at the bottom that this fits into. So we'll glue that back together. And I think he should be, oh, nope.
Is it because he's hollow?
I don't know. You put it right on this little indentation. That's supposed to fit in there. I think I might have gotten it this time. If not, we'll have to try something else. I think we got him that time.
Let's see what he looks like up close.
Holding steady.
A little closer. Yeah, nice.
So he's fixed. Then we have this little guy, and I think there was supposed to be something on top. It also came with some light thing, but it must have come in the bottom, but that wasn't there either. So I just took it because I figured you could put something on the top and you wouldn't even notice it. I did like break off a little bit of the edges because it was kind of sharp, and then I figured I'd just sand it down so that it's not sharp anymore, so nobody would, you know, put themselves on it if they happen to touch that area.
And as a caveat, that came pre-broken. That's how we found it.
Yes, this is how we found it. So these are our kids, and I just thought I would use one of these, maybe a red one, and just glue that on the top. And I think that's pretty cute.
And then you could do what? Put a tea light or something inside
You
of it?
could put a tea light inside it. You could do whatever.
Battery powered one.
But we're just
A
gonna
regular
try
one
and
would
put-
obviously set the top on fire, so you might want to.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll just do that, and we'll stick that on the top. And I think it's pretty cute.
Cool. That works.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice like table
So,
decoration.
yeah,
or
like for
hall
Christmas.
table or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly. I think it's so pretty. So there's that. And then this one, we still got to get this sticker off here, but the only thing that was wrong with this, well, besides the bowls not being in here, which we'll find something to put in there.
And it's a pet bowl stand? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
pet bowl stand. At least, let's see if it says here. Handcrafted with love. Made in India. But yeah, it's got the little paw in there, so it's gotta be for pets. But it's just this wood is cracked here a little bit. So I thought let's just throw some wood glue in there. Try and fix it up, clamp it down. Which, where's the clamp?
Right there on the table.
Oh. And then we will see if it survives. But it's a really pretty piece of wood, so.
I mean, you could put what? You could put any kind of bowls.
I think you
Ceramic,
could put any kind of bowl in there.
plastic, which I know some people don't like plastic
Yeah.
bowls for their pets, but you could do anything in there, and then you have a nice little stand where it gets it
I
up off
know.
the ground for them, and they can't, it doesn't, I mean, it's not heavy, but it's got some weight to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is a heavy wood. Ooh, it is cracked in the middle all the way through here.
Yeah.
But I think I can just jam in some.
And I'm thinking that was
Glue
probably
there.
just the wood after they cut it. It probably just
Yeah.
dried out, shrunk, and cracked.
Yeah, so I have it like, it's kind of dripping through here a little bit, but
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I
fine.
want.
I'd throw the clamp like on the middle of it, maybe, huh?
Yeah, and I'm gonna just wipe off the excess before I clamp it. But really, like, I kind of got down in there and we should be pretty good to go.
And if somebody was real particular, they could sand it afterwards, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a big chunk, I would, but I mean, other than that, it's
I think
pretty.
whoever the next owner is, a $couple item, it'll be
Yeah,
good
exactly.
as is.
Yep.
And these
So-
clamps, guys, are nice to have hanging around just for
Fixing things up.
exactly.
Yeah, super nice to have handy. I'm gonna put it up a little bit further.
Yeah, there you go.
Just up here, not too tight, but there we go. I'll wipe it again. Get that little excess off there.
Nice.
And pretty much there's kind of a big chunk taken out here. I'm just gonna leave that glue in there and hopefully
yeah.
it'll dry.
I would, and then it'll just kind of hold it together.
Yeah.
Be a filler.
So here you guys can see, this is what it looks like when, I think you can't hardly even tell. Once that glues too in the middle there, you won't even see it. So
Does that have a cool like paw print in the front of it? What is
yeah,
that?
yeah, it has a paw print
Oh, that's neat.
on the front. I think it's super cool. So anyways, we'll let this dry, but really that's about it.
We've got some more items here. I'll start with an easy one first. This is some sort of little solar lantern. It's missing the screw. There's a screw here, and you could see that it doesn't go in all the way, probably so this swings freely. And there's actually a piece of cardboard. I think it's like an Edison bulb type thing. Let's just take it off so you guys can see what that looks like. I think you would use this. Oh, it's a bunch of little LED lights in there. So you'd probably use this like on a shepherd's hook or something. I'm guessing outside just as a decoration, but no bueno without the screw. So what I do is I have, anytime that I get, if we're diving and I find like a little plastic bag of hardware for a kit, I stick it in my pocket and it goes right in here. And I've been doing it for years, even before diving. And the reason is, whenever you need a screw, it's nice to have something. Now, do I catalog these? Absolutely not. They're all just in a giant old graham cracker jar. To save time, I just happen to find one that would work. Same thread pitch. It's a little long, but we want something that's going to allow this to still swing. And I think anybody would be perfectly happy with it, to be honest with you. So we're going to put it in there, tighten it down a titch, because we don't want to lose it, but we're not going to over tighten it because it's just cheap thin aluminum. There you go, bang. That works out great. So for the next one, get that out of there. I think what we're going to do is this little reindeer. Now we found this guy and he's kind of sad because he lost his horns. So I think we're going to go from a buck to a doe with a little sandpaper.
I think I put it on the table back there.
Yes. And you can use whatever. You could use a file. You could use whatever. So we'll just... This is just like cheap balsa wood, so this is going to sand down really easy. And then what you could do with this, what I personally think we're probably going to do with it, is take it and give it to my daughter to decorate for next Christmas. Glitter, glue, 5 minutes of fun for your kids for free, basically. And all it took was a little bit of sanding to get those sharp points off. Because again, this is just cheap balsa wood cut out on a jig. This thing was $6 in the store.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for balsa wood, basically.
There you go.
You can still see them here, but by the time you paint it, decorate it, it won't make a difference.
Yeah.
So, bam, fixed.
Super cute. She'll love that.
On to the next one. What do we got? This thing. This is some sort of weird candle holder. The candle was junk. The glass is really cool. But
Well, it had a stand, but we didn't get the stand pieces or they weren't there.
oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so
Well, this thing on the bottom, this wood thing, is weird. It doesn't look good. It's all beat up. So we were thinking, let's just take this off, and then you got a really nice heavy candle holder.
yeah.
So I think this, just looking at it, is hot glued on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my, and if this doesn't work and I break it, I'm sorry.
It is what it is. We're just trying to save it.
I think actually I might try my putty knife first because I don't want to break the glass. And I'll be smart about it and try a plastic scraper first. I don't know if this will get underneath it, if it needs to be heated up or not. But all we're trying to do is just,
There you
and
go.
it's fixed.
Pop it off.
So you could see all it was just hot glue. So then all a guy would need to do, quite honestly, is go through, I won't do it here, but I have a heat gun. You just heat it up and that'll just pull right off. And then nice candle
Awesome.
holder.
I'm glad that popped
So
off.
we don't need that anymore. All right. This one, was this the frame we were going to save for us?
Yeah, I think it's
Because we have some frames
Yep.
similar to this. So this has no glass. Not a big deal to have a piece of glass cut and or just put in a piece of plexiglass if you're just going to do like a family photo or something. So there's not too much to do to this. I'm just going to take a look and make sure that it's not any other parts of it are damaged. I think it just needs this put back in so we don't lose it. But yeah, that looks like that's
Yeah,
all
I
it is.
think that one was just the glass.
So that's really it. So we'll just put the tabs down so it keeps it in there for now. It's a little thin because there's no mat or anything in it, but that's a pretty nice frame. I thought it looked familiar when we got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Put this over here, so we take that in the house. You don't need those anymore. This poor thing, I think it had like 3 candles in it. It was like a nice Christmas decorative type deal. I was thinking we could save it, but it's pretty crunched. This is all like false greenery inside, and you can see where the candles went, but it's foam. And I think they just glued the heck out of it. And on top of it, I think it's pinched in there because this is just like cheap galvanized tin. Somebody obviously dropped it. You could use it as is, but
Do you want to just try and rip out that greenery? Let's just see what it does.
and see what it does.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's already broken.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just stuck in there.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, these were just stuck in there as well. This was actually glued in.
So it's all going to come out in pieces, huh?
It's all going to come out in pieces.
Ah,
So you could salvage
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah, we might go in and take a few pieces here and there because there's some pretty stuff in there. But yeah, we realized
I think the tin's done.
it's not really
Yeah.
savable.
And this thing was $60.
Wow,
With candles, but still, that's
crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
I know.
But yeah, I would not pay $60 for it.
Not like that.
Like that. So that,
It is pretty, though.
that's an experiment that we're gonna save you from.
Yeah.
Basically, so you don't have to sit and watch that. These things are interesting. These are some Halloween decorations that we found, and they're all on these chains. And the decorations, $50, $50. I think it was for 3, and I think they hung in some sort of an order, but they're all hung together with these cheap chains. And some of these are busted off. There's no buckle on them. And some of them, like this one, that is clearly the bottom, but they're upside down, which is weird. So my thoughts were, maybe we can make one good one out of these 6 because some of the things are busted. Or we could maybe make one big one. I don't know. But my thoughts are, and what I did, I took the chain and I just took 2 needle nose pliers and I just opened the link and took it off. It's just real cheap stuff. So no big deal there. But yeah, like this one, that's missing. And this is a bottom piece because there's no hangers there. So it looks like some, I'm just going to experiment on this one. I don't know if I can get these out or if they're just, yeah, it's turning. If it's glued in place. Yeah, well, that was easy. So if, oh, no, it wasn't. What it did is it actually sheared, these are screwed in, glued in there, but it took the screw and sheared it off. So the ones that don't have this maybe could be, I don't know, what do you think, Steph? Some kind of different decor. Maybe we just take it off altogether and maybe they're just like a, I don't know, tabletop decor or something.
Yeah, I think we have to decide what 3 we want to go on the one.
Yeah, well, it's got to be 3 with these good hinges.
Yeah.
So not these 2 because the hinges are broke. Hinges are here on this.
That's a top one.
That is a top. Right. This has got to be a middle. See, that one's broke now. So I'm wondering, to save ourselves the grief, if we just do it this way.
But that one in the middle, that was the problem with, so there was these 2 that were like, oh, they're together, but one's upside down. So
Is it weird or is it cool? I don't know.
I guess.
So
I think it's weird.
I think for everyone's time and sanity, what we'll do is connect these as is, and if somebody else wants to change it, they can go right ahead and do so.
Well, how would you flip it?
I wasn't going to flip it. You would flip it by opening these links up and
Okay.
just, I don't know, we could do it, I guess. What's the arm, right? Now we have one complete spooky Halloween wall hanging. Does look better with this turned around. Good suggestion, Steph. I was just going to leave it, but that would probably drive me nuts. So somebody will enjoy this. Now we are going to look at the electrical items that need to be soldered. The reason they need to be soldered is when these are thrown out, they cut the cords. Luckily for us, with this curling iron, I believe, 3-in-1 convertible curling iron, all the pieces are here. I know nothing about curling irons because I don't have hair and I don't own one. So we're gonna learn together on this. So it looks like they did us a favor by cutting it way down here versus cutting it at the base. And we have a ton of cord to use. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this little tie off that keeps it all nice and bundled together. Might even be able to just slide it off. What kind of wizardry is this thing? Oh, I see. And it helps to have the right tools when you do this, but it's super simple. You don't need much. So you've got your hot and cold wires here. It's just going to run the current through. You're going to want to take this and cut it down the middle.
And what is that? You guys, I'm actually learning how to do this too. I've never done anything like this before,
And-
so he's teaching me.
Yes. And as a caveat, I am no expert. I've just done this for other things, trailer wiring. I wired some cameras to our house, other things. So that's how I learned. I just learned by doing. So anyway, you've got your insulation here, and these two wires are insulated together. So you're going to go right in the middle there, and you're going to break that apart, and it's going to allow you to pull it apart like that. Now, you don't have to pull it apart that far, but I just did it to show you guys. This is a wire cutters and strippers.
Here, yeah, show it to me.
I like this over the traditional kind where you put it in and pull it because it actually does the work for you. It does a way cleaner job. And I'll show you. So you take the wire and you just lay it in here. And it pulls the insulation right off.
Strips it right off. Cool. Nice.
So we've got two nice, ready-to-go connections on that end. And we're going to do the exact same thing on this curling iron. Let's get the rest of this out of the way.
Oh.
Sorry about that. So see how this is all screwed up? I think they cut it with the scissors by looking at it. I am going to probably just get rid of that.
Oh, okay.
Because may give us a crummy connection. Oops, see, I did it again. I screwed up. That's a nice thing when they give you extra. If you screw up, you just cut it off and start over. All right, so now stick my fingers in there, pull the two apart, lay it in here, strip it, maybe a little bit more. And that's it. That's all you had to do. So we're going to join these connections. How are we going to do it? We're going to basically fan the wires out, put them together like this, twist them, and then we're going to have a sheath that shrinks that goes over it to protect it. So this isn't going to be like a hack job with a bunch of tape.
Does it matter which cord goes to which cord?
It really doesn't in this particular case. Let me look. Doesn't look like it in this particular case.
Okay.
You've got shrink tubes here. 300 piece, 3-in-1. You got both colors, different sizes. So let's find our size. I believe in looking at it, this is going to be our size. Oops. Helps to just twist these right out of the gate to get this on. And you want to put these on ahead of time. Why, you ask? Because once it's together, it's together. You would have to cut it apart and start over. And you only need this obviously on one side because it's going to cover both connections. Okay, so we've got those on, right? Here comes the fun part.
So could you ever put one big one on there to just have one?
No.
Okay.
And the reason being is you don't want those bare connections to touch. It's going to short each other out, either cause a fire or it's just not going to work. And you're talking 12-volt household here. And again, I'm no electrician or expert.
Okay, I have another question.
Yep.
So if we wanted to do one over these, could we? Like if we put a big one here and then the little ones?
You could, but there'd be no reason to. Typically,
Well, just to make it look nicer is all I'm thinking.
to make it look, I mean, I wouldn't put a shrink tube on a shrink tube to make it look nicer because it's going to be like this when it's all done.
Okay.
But it's going to be shrunk down to this size
Okay.
with the heat.
Perfect.
One thing I just noticed, and again, I'm no expert. See how this cord here, it's really hard to see, is printed?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to hook it up to that same one that's printed.
Oh,
just to
perfect.
make sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes a huge difference, but just to be sure,
Yeah.
that's how we're going to do it. So let's take our first connection and just fan her out here.
Do you want this under there?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Plastic?
Yep.
Okay.
And you kind of join the fingers together. There's a million different ways to solder. I am definitely not the cleanest at this because I've got very bad eyesight and I'm no expert. But everything that I've looked at and every electrician that I've talked to, this is how they recommend doing it. And then what you do, and this is already heated up, you take your soldering iron and you take, and this is just regular plain old generic tin solder. And is this the premium stuff? No, this is just the Harbor Freight cheap junk because, you know, again, I'm not an expert. And what you're going to do is you're going to warm your wires up a little bit. And this might not be warm enough yet. Oh, there we go.
Oh, you guys, you can smell it.
Yeah, it doesn't smell the best.
Yeah, that's got to be hot.
And
Don't solder it too careful with that.
I soldered it to the wire. Again, not an expert at this, and I don't relish doing really small type work because my eyes are bad. But if you get enough of this junk on there, it'll make a good connection. And I've done it on many different things, and I've had no problems. As you've probably figured out by now, we live in the Midwest, and we get all types of weather, especially where we live because we're by a lake. That's probably good enough for that. And cameras that I have outside, I did this exact way because I didn't have enough length on them, and I made my own wires. See, and this should be where you can touch it now. It cools very fast. See how I can do this with a connection? There's nothing wrong with that connection. You just want to make sure it's good. That's a good connection. And then what you'll do is you'll put your shrink tube over the top of it. And really, we should be using our heat gun, but I'm just going to show you with a lighter. You just do this. It'll shrink down pretty quick. Go around the wire and hug it nice and insulate that connection that we just made so it never falls apart. And you want to move this around because you don't want it to burn. This again is, I like the heat gun method better, but, and that's it. And now you've got a nice strong connection that's not going to go anywhere. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through and solder the rest of these items. I'm probably going to walk Steph through it. Maybe I'll have her try one for you on camera. But that's the basics on how to do it. Again, I don't do the prettiest job, but I know it works because I've done it a bunch of times. And I think for this type of application, this will be fine. And we could even go through and put electrical tape on these after if we really wanted to. But this would be fine with the shrink tube.
All right, so we finished up fixing the three things that we had. It was a curling iron, blow dryer, and this curler set. So I just plugged this guy in and I was gonna see real quick if it works. So let's turn it on and see. Ooh, the light turned on. Awesome. It looks like they're heating up already. So they work. Yay! Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We're so glad that we could save some of this stuff, get it fixed up and ready to go. And
if you enjoyed this content, Fix It Cart Friday, or what do we call it? Fix It Cart Friday.
yeah, Fix the Cart Friday.
If you enjoyed that, we can certainly bring you more of that. We emptied out the cart pretty good today, so we probably won't have that next Friday, but as we get things, we can certainly add this content back in. But we certainly enjoyed doing this. If you like it, comment below, and we'll see you next time.